Thanks to my pals at Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. See my exclusive deal by clicking the link in the description below. Get yourself award-winning VPN protection now.
Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a pretty impromptu one because I have behind me the new Fiesta ST 2, not 3, facelift. Yes, you can see the face of this car has changed quite considerably, and that's not it. Quite surprisingly, Ford have done a few more tweaks to this, which is very unusual of them. And I have to say a big thank you to the owner of this car, because no, it isn't a car from Ford UK. This is actually a fellow subscriber of the channel who's kindly reached out to me today and allowed me to film with his pride and joy. So a big thanks to Stu, hope you're watching mate, for giving me the opportunity to film this quite early on, because I haven't actually seen many of these cars around. So yeah, today's video is just going to be a little walk around of the car, showing you guys the features that have changed over the pre-facelift. And yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think of the car, because from first impressions, I actually really do like the look of it. From when I looked at pictures of it on Ford's UK's press site, I wasn't too keen on this new look. But seeing it in person with this new mean green paintwork, yes, finally Ford give us some green paintwork to choose from when you spec one of these cars. Yeah, I was quite surprised looking at it in person and thinking, you know what, I actually might do a buy as well. But it's probably going to be about a year or two wait, because the world is crazy. But yeah, let's grab the camera and I'll show you around this beautiful car. Yeah. So guys, now it's time for the walk around of this mega mean green Fiesta ST. Now, the big talk of the town, of course, is the facelift. Now, most manufacturers these days do a cycle of their cars. So after a certain many years, in this case probably 3 or 4, they then decide to change the front end of it. Now, this is a big talking point, and as it should be, because it is a lot different. Now, as I said earlier in the intro, I wasn't actually a big fan of this when it first got released on pictures, because most times pictures don't do cars justice, and that was the case with this thing, because seeing it in person, which I haven't actually seen many on the road yet, it has to be a great looking car. I actually prefer it over the pre-facelift, and now that's a big claim. Now, the reason I do is because it has this new chin spoiler like it did on the Puma ST that I tested a few months ago, and this big front end, this big grille. I have to say I really am a big fan. Now, the other big change is of course the paint. Now, everyone can now spec a green paintwork to their Fiesta ST. This is called mean green, again the same colour that you find on the Puma ST, and from memory at the time of filming, this is a 770 odd pound optional extra paint wise, and it's probably the most expensive paint that you can configure on this car, and I would say it's worth every penny. Now, of course, the weather that we've been having isn't the same today. It's very gloomy, so unfortunately the paint isn't really doing much justice over this camera. But I have to say, from experience with the Puma ST, this is definitely the paintwork to get. I'm so happy that you can now spec green on a Fiesta, which is madness that it hasn't been before. I think the last time you could get a green Fiesta was the Mark 6 anniversary green Z-Tech S that had the checkered roof on the top of it. I'll put a photo of it now if you can't remember. Now, this being an ST2, of course, is going to be a little bit of a mind game for me, because only now, at the time of filming again, you can now only spec Fiesta STs in a 5-door configuration, which this car is, and in an ST3 trim only, which means you get the performance pack as standard. You get matrix LED lights. Of course, this car doesn't. It does have LED lights, but it hasn't got the matrix, which I think has more lights within it. Of course, now with the facelift, they've actually gotten rid of the fog lights that were here on the pre-facelift, and they've integrated them in the light, and I think it's actually quite nice. It tidies up the front end a lot more, less lights, all the lights in the headlights themselves. What else? Of course, with the ST2 you don't get red calipers. That's a big telltale sign to tell you whether you've got an ST2 or 3. Again, is it that bothered having red calipers? No, I wouldn't scream and cry about it. Apart from the exterior of the car with the front end, nothing else has changed from a pre-facelift car. Of course, the colour is different, as I've mentioned. You still get the same twin tailpipes at the back, along with the ST badge littered around the car. And that, I would say, is it for the exterior. What do you guys think? I am a big fan. Of course, I'm a bigger fan of the Mark 7, but I do really like this. And of course, Stu was talking to me about that he, in hindsight, would have probably got a 3-door, but he has a family, so a 5-door is factually more practical, and I would agree with him. Great to see that these cars now come with Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, a great tyre, and unfortunately this car doesn't have the performance pack. Yes, I know, I had words with Stu about this, and we had a good discussion about whether it would make a big difference over this car, which doesn't have it, and I would argue that no, you could do away with a diff and you wouldn't really notice a difference, because yes, these cars are pushing out quite a bit of power, 200, well, just under 200 horsepower. And speaking of power, this actually has 30 Newton meters more torque than the pre-facelift car. So yes, you do get a little bit more poke, but the power remains the same, and the 0 to 62 remains the same at around 6.5 seconds. So yeah, it's quite surprising that they've given you a little bit more performance out of the engine. Usually Ford don't do that with especially facelifts or just cars in general, like the ST Edition that I had recently. They didn't have any more performance coming out of the car, which was very annoying. Make sure you go and check out that video. So yeah, that's enough of the exterior. I think I've covered pretty much everything. There's no point me opening the bonnet because, as I said, the engine's the same, nothing's changed. So yeah, another big change is inside of the car, so let's go and have a look. So yeah, being an ST2, it doesn't have comfort unlocking, which is a good and bad thing, because I have to get the key out of my pocket, which is the bad thing. But the good thing is that it protects it from getting tea-leaf by little yobs that don't have anything else better to do. So yeah, here is the next big change to the car, the seats. Yes, the widely controversial other topic of this car, which is why have Ford gone away from using Recaro? Now, there's probably many reasons behind it that I'm going to educatedly guess at, and I would say is that obviously Ford know that they could save money by making their own seats, which is one thing, and the other thing is probably Recaro couldn't meet the demand of what Ford wanted. I'm just guessing, by the way, this is not facts, but those are probably two items that highlight why Ford have gone their own way making seats. Now, that's no bad thing. I've actually sat in these seats, and I have to say I am a big fan. Now, for the taller person, I would probably say that they're probably not going to like these as much, because you do sit higher up than the previous seats. But for me, I'm a midget, so it doesn't really concern me that much. Now, what I found with the previous Recaros in the pre-facelift was they didn't offer enough bolstering on the sides, whereas now there's loads of it, and especially up top of the seat as well, as you can see here, you sort of curves you in a bit more and it secures you through the corners. I really do like it. And of course you've got bigger side bolsters here, which I would say is a little bit annoying, because I did struggle getting in the car. You sort of, over time, this is going to probably get weak. So only time will tell about these big bolsters on the ends. Now, of course, they've made the seat a little bit more, how can I say, they've matured the seat a bit, because not only do you get great lumbar support, unfortunately this is still manually adjustable front and back, you also get this. Yeah, you can adjust it so you can have your legs resting even better. Very nice feature. Now, I'm actually going to jump in the car. Oh, yeah, I'm going to struggle to get in these seats. I'm actually going to pull the seat back. Sorry, Stu, I'm messing with your configuration. Not much has changed in here. Now, being an ST2, the car unfortunately has the analog, the
display. Now I say unfortunately, it's not that bad. Really, you wouldn't actually notice that this is analog because it looks quite digital all here, but in fact it isn't. There's actually needles there, you can see them because it's timed out. Now in the ST3 you get the digital display like you do in the Focus ST, the Puma and the Cougar that I've tested all three. What else? Yeah, there's nothing really in here that screams out to me that's different. Now they've supposedly changed this a bit, but from looking at it and familiarising myself with the ST Edition that I recently had, yeah, it doesn't really look that different, well, not noticeably anyway. Of course, you now get the drive, selectable drive modes. I'll actually turn the ignition on so you can actually see it. You get the shortcut to sport mode directly, or you're allowed, oh, music. You get the ability to go through your drive modes, if I can do it. Oh, those are memories. There we go. So I can now toggle through to drive modes through the steering wheel, as opposed to where it used to be. Oh, gear knobs in the way. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. There we go. There's my coordination. The greatest of all time. Yeah, it used to be here from memory, and for some reason they've changed it for some sort of card slot. Yeah, don't understand that. But yeah, nothing's really changed in here. Of course, this car doesn't have the winter pack either. So on the ST3, the options that you can get, the optional, only 3 optional extras. So the winter pack is one of them. So you get heated front seats, which this car doesn't actually have because it hasn't got the winter pack, of course. So you get the heated front seats, so you can have the buttons there that adjust both drivers and passengers' heated functions in the seats. And you get a heated steering wheel, which again, the button is a smaller button, I think, between this and that. So that's the heated front screen, which comes standard with most Fords these days. And then you get a spare wheel as an option. I think that's £150, so of course the spare wheel will be in the boot. And of course, as I said, the performance pack would have been an option on the ST2, but unfortunately this car doesn't have it. So with the performance pack you get the Quaife limited slip diff up front, and then you get some software gubbins within the car, i.e. launch control and flat foot shifting, which is quite cool. Flat foot shifting, I did it quite a lot in the Puma, sorry Ford. Yeah, again in the back, as you can see, the seats are the same as before, but they are a bit more different in terms of fabric. So they've got the same fabric here, I'd say maybe Alcantara, is that what you'd call it? Yeah, probably. So yeah, and the last option on both cars, ST2 and 3, is the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is quite cheeky because as you can see where I'm pointing, there's like a circle indentation in the speaker, and that's where the B&O symbol would be if you spec'd it. So it makes you question whether the sound system is still the same. Has Stu secretly got a Bang & Olufsen system without the logo on it? We had a laugh about that. I think you do get a little you get a little speaker on the top. I can't get my finger. Yeah, you usually get a little speaker there as well from memory, which gives you a telltale sign whether you've got B&O or not. But again, that telltale sign shows that he hasn't got a B&O system. I think that's roughly around £400 to £500 option. I'll correct myself in post edit. But yeah, I would say I'm not overly disappointed that there's not much interior changes, because the biggest of the changes is taking up quite a lot of the cabin, and that's the seats. And yeah, again, I wasn't overly excited about them when I saw them in pictures, but sitting in them now, they're very comfortable and very supportive too. So yeah, it's a brave move, Ford making their own seats, but hey, it's a business at the end of the day. They need to make money, so yeah, shout out to Ford. Right, let's go and look at the boot, which, to be fair, hasn't actually changed that much. Well, it hasn't changed at all really, because it's still the same size. But for you guys watching that probably haven't seen a Fiesta ST before, first of all, you're mad, because everyone should know what a Fiesta ST is, and B, you may be looking to buy one and you've not owned one before. So yeah, of course, the owner has got a disc lock. I recommend that to anyone that has a Ford, whether it's a Fiesta, a Focus, even a Mackie, can't stand them things. Buy one of these because they are a lifesaver. Now, of course, the boot isn't the biggest, but it's definitely not the biggest in class, that's for sure, but it's quite respectable. A big boot lip, but that's what you're going to expect from a hatchback. Now, the boot size, I'm going to hopefully get this right, is around 292 litres. So yes, not the biggest in class, but I think it's fairly practical for a small family to get around. So yeah, that is the boot size, or the boot in general done. And of course, you'd find the spare wheel in the underneath the false floor here, but I don't think Stu has got a spare wheel from when I asked him. So yeah, that is the boot done and dusted. But yeah, I have to say, I am a huge fan of this car, I really do. Of course, this is just the walk around. A big thanks to Stu once again for letting me just do this video. As I said, it was quite an ad hoc video. He messaged me a few weeks ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm very surprised that an owner's reached out to me, and if you guys would like to feature your car on a channel, please do leave a comment in the description, please leave a comment in the comments below, or you can email me. I'll leave my email in the description. But yeah, I will be getting one of these from Ford very soon, along with the facelifted Focus. Yes, they've done a facelift on the Focus as well, so I'll be getting not only this from Ford, I'll be getting a facelifted Focus ST at some point soon, but we've got to let all the big journos get their hands on it first. But yeah, big thanks to Stu once again for giving me this opportunity. It's a lovely car, congratulations to him. He only picked this up a month ago. It's only got around 500 miles on the clock, so yeah, he's a very lucky boy. But yeah, until next time, I will see you guys soon. There's going to be lots more content coming, especially on mine and Aaron from Car Obsession's new channel, those two car guys, where we are doing lots of content together, and I'm excited to show you all our work. So make sure you head over to that channel and subscribe, and of course subscribe to PocketRockets as well. That'd really help. And of course, like, comment on what you think of the new facelifted Fiesta ST. I'm a big fan. I really do like the new front end of this car. I think it makes it a little bit more aggressive than the pre-facelift. Of course, a lot of people question the rear end of it. I think over time I've grown to like it, and I think it's a very nicely proportioned car. And yeah, this mean green paintwork really does set it off. It really does. It makes it stand out from the crowd. So yeah, looking forward to getting my hands on this once again to go for a drive, do some more videos. If you'd like to see any content on this car when I do get it, again, leave in the comments below and I will try and facilitate that. But yeah, until next time, have a great, awesome day, whatever you're doing, whatever time you're watching this, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.